Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatchadeshatarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatchadeshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Nityananda
Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Welcome, Bhakta Matt.
Hare Krishna.
Hope you're well today. Nice to have you.
Likewise, thank you.
Officially a stalwart. Hare Krishna. We have all stalwarts today. And our fact checker. Feeling separation from our nectar hound, but he was here yesterday, I think. Okay, so he's Dr. Adam. Dr. Adam's working on another title. We'll get there. Anyway, I'm very grateful for everyone to be here. Yep, we're just diving in. We're in Canto 3, Canto 3, Chapter 1, Text 18. So we're going to dive in to our... this one devotee is making fun of me. He said, every time I talk to you, you're always about to dive in or what? Another thing, I always... Because I'll be like, go for prasadam and, you know, people want to talk and then I won't talk too long. I'll say, all right, well, I'm about to go dive in. Go dive into my japa or dive in or something like that. And he was like, every time I talk to you, you're diving in or... I can't remember the other one, but anyway. So we're diving in again here to the invocation. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahima Stotram prayers by Srila Sanatana Goswami. Sarva Shastrabdi Piyusha Sarva Vedaika Satpala Sarva Siddhanta Ratnadya Sarva Lokaika Drikprada. O nectar from the ocean of all scriptures, singular fruit of all the Vedas, rich mine of the precious gems of all conclusive truths, you are the only giver of sight to all the worlds. Sarva Bhagavata Prana Srimad Bhagavata Prabho Kalidwanto Ditaditya Shri Krishna Parivartata. O life heir of all the Supreme Lord's devotees, O Master Srimad Bhagavatam, you are the sun risen in the darkness of Kali. You are the exact image of Sri Krishna. Paramananda Pataya Prema Varshaksharayate Sarvada Sarva Sevyaya Shri Krishnaya Namostume. I bow down to you, who are supremely blissful to read. Your every syllable pours down a flood of prema. You can always be served by everyone. You are Sri Krishna himself. Madhika Bandho Mat Sangin Mad Guru Mad Mahadana Mad Nistaraka Mad Bhagya Madananda Namostute. My only friend, my constant companion, my spiritual master, my great wealth, my savior, my good fortune, my source of ecstasy, I bow down to you. Asadu saduta dayena tinis chostatakura anamuncha kadachin mam premna hritkanta yospura. O bestower of saintliness to the unsaintly, O exalter of the most fallen, please never leave me. Always appear in my heart and voice of pure love. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya Narang Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayat Shrinvatam Swakita Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyanta Stoya Bhadrani Vidunoti Sahritsatam Nashtaprayashva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Jai Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Sorry, I forgot to also thank and welcome Baba Saroham Prabhu for coming.
You said the fact checker. I assumed that was me.
Oh, yeah, I didn't want to be impersonal. Alright.
Good to be back.
Text 18, 3.1.18. Parishu punyo bhavanadri kunjeshva pankajayeshu sharit sarasu anantalingai samalankriteshu chacharatirthayatineshvananyaha. He began to travel alone, thinking only of Krishna, through various holy places like Ayodhya, Dwarka, and Mathura. He traveled where the air, hill, orchard, river, and lake are all pure and sinless, and where the forms of the unlimited decorate the temples. Thus he performed the pilgrim's progress. Purport. These archa forms of the Lord may be considered idols by the atheist, but that does not matter for persons like Vidura or his many other servants. The forms of the Lord are mentioned here as Ananta Linga. Such forms of the Lord have unlimited potency, the same as that of the Lord himself. There is no difference between the potencies of the archa and those of the personal forms of the Lord. The example of the post box and post office may be applied here. The little post boxes distributed all over the city have the same potency as the postal system in general. The duty of the post office is to carry letters from one place to another. If one puts letters in post boxes authorized by the General Post Office, the function of carrying letters is performed without a doubt. Similarly, the Archa Murti can also deliver the same unlimited potency of the Lord as when he is personally present. Vidura, therefore, could see nothing but Krishna in the different Archa forms, and ultimately he was able to realize Krishna alone and nothing else. Krishna is everything, so what else is there? Anyway, Hare Krishna. 619. Kamparayatan me javivikta vritti sada pluto dasayano vidhutaha alakshita swara vidhuta vesho vratani chere haritoshanani. While so traversing the earth, he simply performed duties to please the Supreme Lord Hari. His occupation was pure and independent. He was constantly sanctified by taking his bath in holy places, although he was in the dress of a mendicant and had no hair dressing nor a bed on which to lie. Is there a comma after hair? Mm-hmm. Thus he was always unseen by his various relatives.
Why did you notice the book is different than the ones that you had for the second king?
Oh, because I need to go home to get my third canto, and I just grabbed this out of the hallway because I'm gonna keep reading. I didn't go home.
Stop the reading.
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab it next day or two, or three. Okay. I'll read the verse again. While so traversing the earth, he simply performed duties to please the Supreme Lord Hari. His occupation was pure and independent. He was constantly sanctified by taking his bath in holy places, although he was in the dress of a mendicant and had no hair dressing nor a bed on which to lie. Thus he was always unseen by his various relatives. Purport. The first and foremost duty of a pilgrim is to satisfy the Supreme Lord Hari. While traveling as a pilgrim, one should not be worried about pleasing society. There is no need to depend on social formalities or occupation or dress. One should remain always absorbed in the function of pleasing the Lord. Thus, sanctified by thought and action, one is able to realize the Supreme Lord by the process of a pilgrim's journey. Itam rajan bharatameva varsham Yavad gatavan prabhasam tavasya sakshityam eka chakram ekatta patram ajitena partaha. Thus, when he was in the land of Bharatvarsh, traveling to all the places of pilgrimage, he visited Prabhashetra. At that time, Maharaj Yudhisthira was the emperor and held the world under one military strength and one flag. Report. More than 5,000 years ago, while Saint Vidura was traveling the earth as a pilgrim, India was known as Bharatvarsh, and it is known as it is known even today. The history of the world could not give any systematic account for more than 3,000 years into the past. But before that, the whole world was under the flag and military strength of Maharaj Yudhisthira, who was the emperor of the world. At present, there are hundreds and thousands of flags flapping in the United Nations. But during the time of Vidura, there was, by the grace of Ajita, Lord Krishna, only one flag. The nations of the world are very eager to again have one state under one flag. But for this, they must seek the favor of Lord Krishna, who alone can help us become one worldwide nation. Tatrata shushrava sahridvinashtim madam yata venujavani samshayam sanspardhaya dagdham atanusochan sarasvatim pratyagiyaya tushnim. At the place of pilgrimage at Prabhas, it came to his knowledge that all his relatives had died due to violent passion, just as an entire forest burns due to fire produced by the friction of bamboos. After this, he proceeded west, where the river Saraswati flows. Purport. The Kauravas and the Yadavas were relatives of Vidura, and Vidura heard of their extinction due to fratricidal war. The comparison of the friction of forest bamboos to that of passionate human societies is appropriate. The whole world is compared to a forest. At any moment, there may be a flare-up of fire in the forest due to friction. No one goes to the forest to set it on fire. But due only to friction between bamboos, fire takes place and burns an entire forest. Similarly, in the greater forest of worldly transaction, the fire of war takes place because of the violent passion of the conditioned souls, illusioned by the external energy. Such a worldly fire can be extinguished only by the water of the mercy of the cloud of saints. Just as a forest fire can be extinguished only by rains falling from a cloud. Tasyam tritasya shanaso manuscha pritoratagnerasitasya vayo tritam sudasasya gavam guhasya tasya dadevasya sa asaseve. On the bank of the river Saraswati, there were 11 places of pilgrimage, namely Trita, Ushana, Manu, Prithu, Agni, Asata, Vayu, Sudasa, Guha, and Shraddhadeva. Vidura visited all of them and duly performed rituals. Anyani cheha dvijadeva devai kritani nana yatanani Vishnu pratyanga mukyam kita mandirani darshana Krishna manusmaranti. There were also many other temples of various forms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, established by great sages and demigods. These temples were marked with the chief emblems of the Lord, and they reminded one always of the original personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Purport. Human society is divided into 4 social orders of life and 4 spiritual divisions, applying to each and every individual person. This system is called Varnashram Dharma and has already been discussed in many places in this great literature. The sages, or persons who completely devoted themselves to the spiritual upliftment of the entire human society, were known as Dvija Deva, the best amongst the twice-born. The denizens of superior planets, from the moon planet and upwards, were known as Devas. Both the Dvija Devas and the Devas always established temples of Lord Vishnu in his various forms, such as Govinda, Madhusudana, Nrsimha, Madhava, Keshava, Narayan, Padmanabha, Parthasarathi, and many others. The Lord expands himself in innumerable forms, but all of them are non-different from one another. Lord Vishnu has 4 hands, and each hand holds a particular item, either a conch shell, wheel, club, or lotus flower. Of these 4 emblems, the chakra, or wheel, is the chief. Lord Krishna, being the original Vishnu form, has only one emblem, namely the wheel, and therefore he is sometimes called the Chakri. The Lord's chakra is the symbol of the power by which the Lord controls the whole manifestation. The tops of Vishnu temples are marked with the symbol of the wheel so that people may have the chance to see the symbol from a very long distance and at once remember Lord Krishna. The purpose of building very high temples is to give people a chance to see them from a distant place. We're at near the end of the purport of 23. This system is carried on in India whenever a new temple is constructed, and it appears that it is coming down from a time before recorded history. The foolish propaganda by atheists that temples were constructed only in later days is refuted here because Vidura visited these temples at least 5,000 years ago. And the temples of Vishnu were in existence long before Vidura visited them. The great sages and demigods never established statues of men or demigods, but they established temples of Vishnu for the benefit of common men, to raise them to the platform of God consciousness. Tatasvati vrajya surastramridhim savira matsyan kuru jangalangscha kalena tava yamunam upetya tatrodhavam bhagavatam dadarsha. Thereafter, he passed through very wealthy provinces like Surat, Savira, and Matsya, and through western India, known as Kurujanga. At last, he reached the bank of the Yamuna, where he happened to meet Uddhava, the great devotee of Lord Krishna. Purport: the tract of land comprising about 100 square miles from modern Delhi to the Mathura district in Uttar Pradesh, including a portion of the Gurgaon district in Punjab, East India, is considered to be the topmost place of pilgrimage in all of India. This land is sacred because Lord Krishna traveled through it many times. From the very beginning of his appearance, he was at Mathura in the house of his maternal uncle Kamsa, and he was reared by his foster father Maharaj Nanda at Vrindavan. There are still many devotees of the Lord lingering there in ecstasy, in search of Krishna and his childhood associates, the gopis. It is not that such devotees meet Krishna face to face in that tract of land, but a devotee's eagerly searching after Krishna is as good as his seeing him personally. How this is so cannot be explained, but it is factually realized by those who are pure devotees of the Lord. Philosophically, one can understand that Lord Krishna and his remembrance are on the absolute plane, and that the very idea of searching for him at Vrindavan in pure God consciousness gives more pleasure to the devotee than seeing him face to face. Such devotees of the Lord see him face to face at every moment, as confirmed in the Brahma Samhita 538. Premanjana charita bhakti valochanena shanta sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti yang shama sundaram achindya gunaswarupam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Those who are in ecstasy of love with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shyam Sundar, Krishna, see him always in their hearts due to love and devotional service rendered to the Lord. Both Vidura and Uddhava were such elevated devotees, and therefore they both came to the bank of the Yamuna and met each other. Savasudevanucharam prashantam brihaspate praktanayam pratitam alingyagaram pranayena bhadram svanam aprishad bhagavat prajanam. Then, due to his great love and feeling, Vidura embraced him, Uddhava, who was a constant companion of Lord Krishna and formerly a great student of Brihaspati's. Vidura then asked him for news of the family of Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead. For Vidura was older than Uddhava, like a father, and therefore when the two met, Uddhava bowed down before Vidura, and Vidura embraced him because Uddhava was younger, like a son. Vidura's brother Pandu was Lord Krishna's uncle, and Uddhava was a cousin to Lord Krishna. According to social custom, therefore, Vidura was to be respected by Uddhava on the level of his father. Uddhava was a great scholar in logic, and he was known to be a son or disciple of Brihaspati, the greatly learned priest and spiritual master of the demigods. Vidura asked Uddhava about the welfare of his relatives, although he already knew that they were no longer in the world. This inquiry appears to be very queer, but Srila Jiva Goswami states that the news was shocking to Vidura, who therefore inquired again due to great curiosity. Thus his inquiry was psychological and not practical. Kachit parano purusho svanabhya padmanuvridyeha kalavratirno asate urvya kushalam vidhaya kritakshano kushalam shoragehe. Please tell me whether the original personalities of Godhead who incarnated themselves at the request of Brahma, who was born out of the lotus flower from the Lord, and who have increased the prosperity of the world by elevating everyone, are doing well in the house of Shurasena. Purport. Lord Krishna and Balaram are not two different personalities of Godhead. God is one without a second, but he expands himself in many forms without their being separate from one another. They are all plenary expansions. The immediate expansion of Lord Krishna is Baladev, and Brahma, born from the lotus flower of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, is an expansion of Baladev. This indicates that Krishna and Baladev are not subjected to the regulations of the universe. On the contrary, the whole universe is under their subjugation. They appeared at the request of Brahma to liberate the burden of the world, and they relieved the world by many superhuman activities so that everyone became happy and prosperous. Without the grace of the Lord, no one can become happy and prosperous. Because the happiness of the family of the Lord's devotees depends on the happiness of the Lord, Vidura first of all inquired about the well-being of the Lord. Kachit karunam paramasarhinno bhamasa aste sukamanga shorihi yovai svashranam pitravadadati varan vadanyo varadarbanena. Please tell me whether the best friend of the Kurus, our brother-in-law Vasudeva, is doing well. He is very magnificent. He is like a father to his sisters, and he is always pleasing to his wives. Purport. Lord Krishna's father, Vasudeva, had 16 wives, and one of them, named Puravi or Rohini, the mother of Baladev, was the sister of Vidura. Vasudeva, therefore, was the husband of Vidura's sister, and thus they were brothers-in-law. Vasudeva's sister Kunti was the wife of Pandu, Vidura's elder brother, and in that sense also Vasudeva was brother-in-law to Vidura. Kunti was younger than Vasudeva, and it was the duty of the elder brother to treat younger sisters as daughters. Whenever anything was needed by Kunti, it was magnificently delivered by Vasudeva, due to his great love for his younger sister. Vasudeva never dissatisfied his wives, and at the same time he supplied the objects desired by his sister. He had special attention for Kunti because she became a widow at an early age. While inquiring about Vasudeva's welfare, Vidura remembered all about him and the family relationship.
You know how Kunti is related to Vidura? It's in their brother and sister, but I'm trying to remember the family tree. Because Vidura was born of
Vyasadeva and the Dasiputra mother.
Right. And then how does Kunti do you remember?
She's the sister of Vasudeva, right?
No, it says that there's a sister of Vidura, no? Or both. You're saying that she's also the sister of Vasudeva.
Wait a minute.
Vasudeva's sister Kunti was the wife of Pandu. Oh, okay.
Rohini is the sister of Vidura.
That makes sense. Vasudeva's sister Kunti was the wife of Pandu. Pandu is Vidura's brother. So that's how they're. Just wanted to clarify that. So it's confused.
It'd be weird if Kunti was his sister too. Alright, text 28. Kachivadutari Patiriyadunam Baladyumnya Aste Sukamanga Viraha Yam Rukmini Bhagavato Baleveya Raja Vipram Smaramari Sarge. O Uddhava, please tell me, how is Pradyumna, the commander-in-chief of the Yadus, who was Cupid in a former life? Rukmini bore him as her son from Lord Krishna, by the grace of Brahmanas whom she pleased. Purport. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, Smutta, Cupid or Kamadev, is one of the eternal associates of Lord Krishna. Jiva Goswami has explained this very elaborately in his treatise Krishna Sundarbha. Kachit Sukam Satvata Vrishni Boja Dasarhakanam Adipasa Aste Yam Abhyasin Chachatapatra Netro Nirpashana Sambharihritya Durat. O my friend, tell me whether Ugrasena, the king of the Sattvatas, Vrishnis, Bojas, and Dasarhas, is now doing well. He went far away from his kingdom, leaving aside all hopes of his royal throne, but Lord Krishna again installed him. Kachidhare Samya Sutta Shadriksha Aste Grinhi Ratinama Sadhu Samba Sutayam Jambavati Vratadya Devanguham Yom Vikayadritogre. O gentle one, does Samba fare well? He exactly resembles the son of the personality of Godhead. In a previous birth, he was born as Kartikeya in the womb of the wife of Lord Shiva, and now he has been born in the womb of Jambavati, the most enriched wife of Krishna. Purport. Lord Shiva, one of the three qualitative incarnations of the personality of Godhead, is the plenary expansion of the Lord. Kartikeya, born of him, is on the level of Pradyumna, another son of Lord Krishna. When Lord Sri Krishna descends into the material world, all his plenary portions also appear with him to exhibit different functions of the Lord. But for the pastimes at Vrindavan, all functions are performed by the Lord's different plenary expansions. Vasudeva is a plenary expansion of Narayan. When the Lord appeared as Vasudeva before Devaki and Vasudeva, he appeared in his capacity as Narayan. Similarly, all the demigods of the heavenly kingdom appeared as associates of the Lord in the forms of Pradyumna, Shamba, Uddhava, and so on. It is learned here that Kamadeva appeared as Pradyumna, Kartikeya as Shamba, and one of the Vasus as Uddhava. All of them served in their different capacities in order to enrich the pastimes of Krishna. Shemam Sakachid Yudhana Asteya Palaguna Labdadhanurahasya Devenja Sadhokshaja Sevayeva Gatim Tadiyam Yati Birdurapam. I can't have a dry moment of the day.
What?
I can't have a dry moment of the day.
What do you mean?
Sweating for about 4 days straight.
I was thinking the kirtan, you're probably...
Yeah, it just flies. Anyway, we don't need to have a sweat break. O Uddhava, does Yudhana fare well? He learned the intricacies of the military art from Arjuna and attained the transcendental destination, which is very difficult to reach even for great renouncers. Purport. The destination of transcendence is to become the personal associate of the personality of Godhead, who is known as Adhokshaja, he who is beyond the reach of the senses. The renouncers of the world, the sannyasis, give up all worldly connections, namely family, wife, children, friends, home, wealth, everything, to attain the transcendental bliss of Brahman happiness. But Adhokshaja happiness is beyond Brahman happiness. The empiric philosophers enjoy a transcendental quality of bliss by philosophical speculation on the supreme truth. But beyond that pleasure is the pleasure enjoyed by Brahman in his eternal form of the personality of Godhead. Brahman bliss is enjoyed by living entities after liberation from material bondage. But Parabrahman, the personality of Godhead, enjoys eternally a bliss of his own potency, which is called the Hladini potency. The empiric philosopher who studies Brahman by negation of the external features has not yet learned the quality of the Hladini potency of Brahman. Out of many potencies of the omnipotent, There are three features of his internal potency, namely Samvit, Sandhini, and Hladini. And in spite of their strict adherence to the principles of Yama, Niyama, Asana, Dhyana, Dharana, and Pranayam, the great yogis and jnanis are unable to enter into the internal potency of the Lord. This internal potency is, however, easily realized by the devotees of the Lord by dint of devotional service. Yuyudhan achieved this stage of life just as he achieved expert knowledge in military science from Arjuna. Thus his life was successful to the fullest extent from both the material and spiritual angles of vision. That is the way of devotional service to the Lord. Ah. Can we open it up for any comments, questions, whatever's right now? Anything's?
So I'm just like trying to understand, forgive my lack of qualification, glories. When I chant Hare Krishna, this Hladini potency, is that Krishna's, for example, if I'm offering the mantra to Krishna and Krishna may be getting some pleasure at my attempt at so-called service, trying to serve him, is he, is that pleasure the Hladini potency? How do I know which, what is his pleasure? What is his pleasure? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Radharani. Radharani
Okay.
is the personification of the Hladini potency. And yeah, I mean, you're no stranger to bliss in the kirtan, right? You know, whenever you have kirtan and it's like, you just, it's just ecstatic, the blissfulness. And, the experiential, quality of, especially bliss. Um, that's, it's like a form of Radharani. And Radharani's grace, gift, blessings, quality. Also, I just read recently, Radharani is the personification of the Lord's Hladini potency. And another like feature of her personality is the phenomenon of the spiritual quality of ever expanding, ever increasing. And it's kind of hard to explain or put into perspective, you know, but that quality, that transcendental quality of, ever expanding, ever increasing, is also it's a feature of the Hladini potency. So anyway, whatever bliss you feel when you're just genuinely offering service, you can appreciate it as Krishna's pleasure-giving potency. It's coming from Krishna. All pleasure is ultimately coming from Krishna. Whatever bliss we're feeling, I mean, even if we're not totally pure, I mean, we're getting some kind of bliss from engaging in devotional service, serving devotees, and so that is his Hladini potency.
So what about these other two? These Sangvit and Sandini. What are
Yeah,
those?
Sandhini and Samvit. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. One of them is the cognizance, which is the predominating deity is, who is it?
You mean like the Chaturviha?
No, the Samvit, Sandhini, Hladini. One of them is Balaram, who is like the landscape and like the paraphernalia in the Lord's Dham. Sandhini potency. And then Samvit is, I think it's Vasudeva is the presiding deity over the, it's like cognizance energy. It's like a consciousness. So, so these are the three primary internal potencies of Krishna and their personified forms.
Very nice.
We could look up, I think it's Vasudeva is presiding deity of the Samvit potency. We might have to fact check it. But yeah, the other one's Balaram. Like, we call it the Mridangas Balaram. Dr. Adam,
Yes. Yes.
you ever heard that?
Yeah, I've
Well,
heard that.
it's not just the Mridangas, it's also the paraphernalia, like the offering plate that we're using to offer to the Lord, has different paraphernalia. And even like the holy Dham, the landscape and everything is also uh, considered Balaram. We're fact checking right now about if Vasudev was the presiding deity of the Samvit potency. Whew. Hare Krishna. Yeah, they say sweating is a symptom of ecstasy. Hare Krishna.
Sunbeam, Bhagavatam, Sunbits. Yeah, there's no reference according to I'm finding with the Sunbit being. But in the fourth canto, Srila Prabhupada does say that Vasudeva is the Chitta, represents the Chitta or consciousness.
I know, there's gotta be a
So I've never
direct.
read that. I don't think I did. But Sunbit is a personification.
Why would two of them have, but not the third?
I mean, yeah, I guess that's true.
I was like really fairly certain that somewhere he names all three. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Well, Hare
The
Krishna.
report in CC and then one in the fourth canto it talks about the Chitta Vyuha and Vasudeva's Chitta, the intelligence is Duna, unroot is the mind.
Yeah, but this isn't the Chatur Vyuha. Anyway, we'll find it.
It's not typically given a separate human personification of Radharani and Frivolity.
What?
This is what, AI is saying, it's researching Prabhupada's books and saying that there's no reference of him personifying the something. Which, that doesn't register to me, but maybe it's there somewhere. I mean, like your point is that everything's personal and spiritual, so there's probably some personality.
I'm pretty certain. We'll find it. We'll find it. I'll look for it later and post it in the group. Anybody else want to share anything? We're kind of running out of time. Hare Krishna.
Guys,
Very
you
well.
got people online?
Yeah,
That's great.
some stalwart bhaktas.
Oh, that's nice and good music. With the amplifiers on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
I wanted to just read a sentence that I thought was very nice from the 23rd text.
Okay.
And it's saying, the great sages and demigods never established statues of men or demigods, but they established temples of Vishnu for the benefit of common men to raise them to the platform of God consciousness. I thought it was a very good definition of what, a great person is and what their activity is.
Yeah, glorifying the Lord, you mean?
Yeah.
Nice.
And not just for their benefit. I mean, it's for the common men also.
Right. That's a nice point. Yeah, when we were hearing that, I was reflecting because Prabhupada was making the point that Vidura visited these temples. This is 5,000 years ago, more than 5,000 years ago, he said. And then he said, but whenever he visited them, they were already there for a really long time. And just to me, it's really interesting to hear because at least I personally have had interest, not a lot, but a little, in like what scientists are finding currently modern day as far as like ancient structures and things, megalithic structures, whatever, this and that, in different places in the world. India is a place where there's very many ancient structures that they can't explain, and
They couldn't recreate if they tried.
they couldn't recreate if they tried. They can't figure out, because in their worldview, it's like they think they're pretty much trying to tell us like cavemen built like these giant elaborate like stone structures with giant precise, with the precision using like a chisel. So anyway, I was just thinking, reflecting on that, and just appreciating. Even now you can go to Vrindavan and visit. The Radha Gopinath temple is very old, ancient.
Really?
Radha Gopinath, the one that was really tall, but then it got partly destroyed. Now it's shorter.
Isn't that Govinda?
Or Radha Govinda, that's what I meant. Yes, yeah.
I remember, I forgot where I heard this, but I think Gauranga Prabhu was explaining that Jiva Goswami purposely didn't make it so ornate because he wanted to be respectful to the Muslims at the time. Something like that, because he was Gauranga Prabhu was explaining how Jiva Goswami was an expert administrator, also obviously a very learned devotee, and in order to be respectful and keep things cordial, he made it tall, but he didn't make it super ornate and because they didn't want to attract too much attention or something.
Like show off.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty
interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, I was just appreciating, that we have this knowledge Prabhupada is giving. Like he explained, he said today that, really there's no systematic, understanding of the world further than 3,000 years old. And he said, but before that, he explains, Maharaj Yudhisthira was ruling the world. We have this knowledge. We know what was going on. Yeah. And we have evidence of, what they were capable of, what they were doing, and even evidence of buildings that are still existing from the time, at least in India. And it's just amazing, we can have
Isn't there evidence of Brahmastras being used too, during the Kurukshetra War? Have you heard that before?
Maybe something, but I can't remember it.
That was one thing I remember hearing. They found some evidence of mass destruction or something like that.
Yeah, you got all kinds of evidence,
Yeah.
And stone bridge to Lanka. Anyway. It also was nice to hear about very interesting points of the sadhus in Vrindavan. Getting basically going to Vrindavan and seeking for Krishna as being more pleasurable than actually seeing Krishna face to face.
Yeah, I like that one.
And then he said that, well, they are seeing Krishna face to face at every moment. And it's what he's talking about is, this love and this mood of separation. Love and separation, like Varshana Maharaj explains, within the pain of separation is the joy of a higher communion. And but because it's in the devotional service, it's non-different, and actually, ultimately there is no actual separation from Krishna. But it's a special mood, And in our line, this is the highest mood of love of God. And I can't remember, maybe somebody can remember it more perfectly, but, how did he put it? The hankering and longing for the Lord, the Lord reveals himself through that. And actually, that's more relishable than seeing the Lord face to face. And that's like our mood, you know.
Yeah. Hey Rod, hey Rich Dave, hey Singles Homes. Where are you, Rod? Where are you on the bank? Did you
All right. So it's like, how much are we hankering for the Lord in our everyday, day-to-day service, in our rounds? You know, just little, you know, it doesn't have to be anything extravagant externally, but internally, like really wanting, desiring for the Lord. You know, we really can cultivate that mood, and then Krishna will reveal himself more and more. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Just gonna really want it.
It's so easy to be mechanical, right?
Yeah.
Like recite and chant, do things mechanically.
All right.
Anyway, I'm glad you said that.
And a lot of people, sorry to cut you off, a lot of people are like, you know, like they're really like stuck on trying to see Krishna,
Right.
like with their eyes or whatever.
Proved.
But yeah, you know, it seems counterintuitive. You know, the real way to see Krishna is not by trying to see Krishna, but trying to serve Krishna and really desiring to.
Make him want to see you, right? That's Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's.
Yeah.
So deep, right? Like having that mentality, just wanting Krishna to feel happy and not me try to get something, but just like you're just, right? It's kind of like what you're saying is like mood of giving rather than trying to grasp or understand.
Like Prabhupada said, by dint of devotional service. And, you know, service is largely attitude.
Right.
You know, like it doesn't have to be like your prescribed service in the temple only.
Right.
You know, like mood towards devotees. Mood and just, you know, walking up the side of the road. You're in the Dham, try to serve the Dham somehow, walking, you know, just having the desire and the mentality of like, you know, looking for that service, desiring to serve.
Yeah. And the opposite, I would say the opposite of devotional service is offenses, right? Like avoiding offenses in your chanting and how you treat devotees in your service. So it seems like that's always the thing that blocks us the most, right? Is how we take the humble position and try to be a servant, and then they go together really well.
Right.
Side by side.
Yeah, and even you know, that verse, you know, if one is chanting but not going into tears and experiencing ecstasy, it's to be understood that he's hard-hearted, and if one is sincerely chanting and continuously chanting sincerely, then and he's not experiencing the ecstasy, it's due to offenses only. And if one is if experiencing that, the only thing they can do is keep chanting.
Right.
So it's like, well, you got your like marching orders from the Shastra, like of service to do anything, you know, like always got this holy name to serve. And Srimad Bhagavatam, you can always be served by everyone.
Yeah.
You are Sri Krishna himself. Go ahead, Bhakti.
Srila Prabhupada and Mahatma Das says, Mahatma Das confirms that Srila Prabhupada said that the secret to chanting japa is to be pleading with Krishna while you're chanting japa. Krishna, my dear Lord, please just place me in the service, in the society of your service. Please just, it actually does wonders. It changed my whole japa when I actually started trying to pray like that. I know it sounds so simple. It sounds like you're already doing it, but it's like, if you actually consciously start praying like that, it changes your whole japa.
What are you quoting there?
That's from Prabhupada. I don't know from where. Mahatma Das put it in one of his recent videos. And I don't know how recent, maybe not recent, but yeah.
Thank you. Very nice. Yeah. One of the atoms at your lotus feet.
Yeah.
Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Yay!
Any last words for anyone?
Thank you.
Jai, thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Vanchakalpatarubhishcha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Nantakoti Vaishnavindaki. Alright, Prabhuji's, thank you. We'll hopefully see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Have a great rest of your day.